Shell cardamom seeds and crush with seeds in mortar and pestle, and put it in a spice bag with the cloves, priest wine, spice.
Well, you start with cardamom seeds, and the recipe calls for my recipe calls for 9 pods of cardamom seeds. I usually add an extra 1 or 2 because, in general, I think the spices are important. Cardamom seeds are expensive. I've tried to grow them a number of years, but have been unsuccessful getting a cardamom plant to grow, and I would love to do it. So you shell the seeds and put them in a mortar and pestle. Okay, so here's cardamom number 10 going in. Careful not to waste any seed. And then you grind it up with a mortar and pestle. I try to grind it fairly, make sure that each of them are crushed a bit. So you place the cardamom that's been ground into a spice bag. Now I use a tea ball, which it's got nice little fine screens, so that's fine, and it's easier than trying to cut out a piece of cheesecloth and tie up. And then you're supposed to use 6 whole cloves, and you put that in your pot, along with 20 inches of cinnamon sticks. Now cinnamon sticks come in various widths and everything like that, so I use at least 20, and I usually throw in a little bit more. So about 20, 30 inches of cinnamon sticks there. And sugar. Nothing like sugar. We got 2 cups of sugar, which might seem like a lot, but I'm not sure whether his called for 2 cups. No, his called for taking sugar cubes and putting it over a strainer and pouring the vodka on it and burning it, and it would drip down. Well, mine never dripped down. So we have about 2 cups of sugar here. That goes in, and of course, a gallon of wine.
There we go. This will ultimately make more than a gallon because we're going to add a little vodka and whiskey. And you really don't want this to boil. You want it to simmer, which is a real trick. There you go. Save the gallon jug later on. And lastly, what goes in here is a little bit of whiskey for flavor. I usually put in 3/4 of a cup. Use that same measuring cup. Whiskey. And you put it on the stove, and usually I start it on a fairly high heat because otherwise it takes forever. But you don't want it to boil, so you have to sort of watch it, and as it starts to warm up, you have to cut it down to a low heat so that it simmers. So we're going to set it for 45 minutes, and then we're sort of set for a while. So it should take about that long to get to a simmer. Now we have the raisins and the almonds to add, and it's simmered for that additional 20 minutes. You just add the raisins and the almonds. Quick enough, it smells good, it smells nice and cinnamony. And now it simmers for another 15 minutes. And So I just set the timer. And there we go. That part's done. After this, we turn it off, let it cool for 2 hours, remove the spice bag, and then we'll be bottling it.
A beautiful sight we're having tonight, walking in a winter wonderland.